What's this? Adam and Jamie browsing in a sex shop?
Your arms are totally inside of it.
What sort of depraved myth-busting challenge could possibly call for such kinky clothing? The myth that you stay drier if you run in the rain.
Basically, it's a bit of practical advice. Run if it's raining, and you won't get as wet than if you're walking. Seems to make sense to me.
Common sense? Since when have the MythBusters let that get in the way of a challenge?
The idea is someone walking through the rain will stay in the rain longer, but the rain's only falling on their head and shoulders. Whereas someone running through the rain is actually picking up rain on their entire front.
So what? We just wait for the next rainy day and go for a stroll? No siree. The MythBusters will need controlled conditions.
We're going to have to be really careful about this. It seems like a simple thing.
It seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, but there are actually a lot of factors to consider. You've got, the velocity of the rain. You've got the speed that you're running. You've got all these different things to factor in there.
The setup, an indoor course 100 feet long, which Adam and Jamie will walk, then run through in a downpour of homemade rain. They'll wear identical cotton coveralls, which will be weighed after each test to see how much rain they've soaked up. Now, all that means they'll have to manufacture some very precise precipitation.
I think the hardest part's going to be getting really reliable, consistent rain, something that's realistic. So, it's got to be the right velocity, the right drop size, nice even spread over a big distance like this for us to get a good, consistent run.
At this early stage, what do Adam and Jamie think will happen?
If you walk, you spend more time in the rain.
That's your idea? Mm-hmm. I'm going to disagree with you just for the hell of it, and I'm going to say the person who runs through the rain gets wetter.
When it comes time to run the test, Adam and Jamie will have to make sure their perspiration doesn't mix with the rain. So they'll have to wear something underneath their coveralls, something snug and form-fitting. Ah, so that explains the visit to the land of latex.
Have you ever worn latex before?
I've never worn latex before.
Okay.
I've heard it takes a lot of powder.
This one, you get in through the neck. This one, you open up the
Your
shoulders.
whole body fits to the neck.
This is called, a neck entry, and all you do is stretch. It doesn't tear. I mean, it's built very strong, and you just step inside of it. This is kind of a cool feeling because it completely closes up around you.
Do you want to try them on right now?
I'm not attached to trying them on right now. It seems like a lot of work. But apparently, we're going to try it on right now. That's enough of that. How do you feel?
Feel kind of sexy.
It's funny because you bend your legs, you can feel them spring back again. You can? It's like, boink, boink.
Though a little unsure at first, Jamie seems quite taken. The next step, buy some piping for their homemade downpour.
Are these things sealed just by screwing them in tight?
Teflon tape. You'd have to Teflon tape.
I'd rather use the goop. It goes together quick.
Okay, I was trying to accommodate you. You were like, we're going to have to glue all these together earlier.
And when you've done special effects for as many sci-fi movies as Adam, you see irrigation equipment in a completely different light.
Ah, yeah, here you go. This I've seen in more than one movie as the business end of some kind of big gun. So we need like 40 feet of half-inch pipe and 150 feet of the 2-inch pipe. Right here.
We need to have at least about 60 feet of height for the sprinklers so that the raindrops can achieve terminal velocity.
After falling 60 feet, a drop of water is traveling at maximum speed, around 22 feet per second. After that, it cannot go any faster, no matter how far it plummets.
We just go up there with a hose, and squirt it down. It's not really going to be like real rain. It might be going faster or slower. We don't know.
Over the years, several studies have sought to answer the question of whether you should amble or gallop through the rain. Meteorologists Tom Peterson and Trevor Wallace conducted their own experiment at the National Climatic Data Center in North Carolina.
That's perfect.
They simply waited for a downpour and stepped outside.
We measured out an approximate course to try to get 100 meters, but we didn't feel like it was crucial to have exactly 100 meters because we weren't trying to see how much rain we absorbed in 100 meters, but the relative difference between running and walking.
Tom walked, Trevor ran. Then their clothing was weighed. We won't reveal their results just yet. Let's wait and see how Adam and Jamie get on. Ironically, the heavens have opened, just as Adam and Jamie find the perfect place to whip up a storm.
So here we are, Jamie.
An Alameda Naval Base.
Yeah, across the bay from San Francisco. You know, they used to paint C-130 planes in this room.
It's a big hangar.
Yeah.
Time to see whether or not Adam's rain delivery system is just a pipe dream. "150 feet of pipe with sprinkler heads every 6 feet.
I'm actually really pleased with the way things are going. We've got half up already. I'm going to do the other half right now. And I got plenty of tie points. It looks really stable. And as long as Jamie holds up on his end, we shouldn't be here too long.
Jamie's working on getting water for the challenge. Not as easy as you might think on a rainy day.
It's legal to tie into these fire hydrants, but you have to go through the fire department and you buy or rent a meter that allows you to tie into it and keep track of your water usage.
Accessing water's one thing. Getting it to travel 60 feet straight up in the air is another.
There you go.
Jamie's calculated that the water will have to be pumped at 15 pounds per square inch. No problem for this pump. It can move H2O at a rate of 200 gallons per minute at 50 pounds per square inch. While they're setting up, let's see how Adam's getting on.
That might be enough, but you know what? I don't think so.
Guess that means he's finished the rain rig. With the pipes in place and the water pumping, the MythBusters are keen to give the rain a dry run.
Come on, keep coming down. No, it's okay, not too much. Okay, so what's next?
Well, we have to mark out a course, and it's 100 feet long, so we're going to mark it out with tape.
We need to get another roll and attach it to this so we can make it to the other piece of tape. Is that 100 feet? Are we too long?
Just a hair.
On some of the tests, they plan to add wind as a variable.
You know, I'm not getting this at all. It's like, you don't want one starting at the end line, or at the start line?
No. Here, come over here. I'll draw it out for you what I'm thinking. Probably here, blowing like this, or going like
Looks
this.
like they can't agree on a fan
We
plan.
want to get the fans as close to the course as we can anyway.
Not necessarily. Consistency is more important than the highest wind speed. Let's set it up my way first.
Okay.
Of course I want to set it up my way first. Do you want to set it up your way first?
I don't care,
Yes.
actually, Adam.
For this experiment, they're looking to duplicate average rainfall, between 2 and 3 inches per hour. Digital gauges are set out along the course.
Oh, these are fabulous. It's almost like whoever invented these didn't want to get wet when they were measuring the rain. We're going to run it for 5 minutes. I can't tell how big the drops are. So currently we're getting just about 1 3/4 inches per hour. We want to goose up the throttle just a little bit, and we should have the perfect amount of rain. I'm ready to dress up. You ready?
Ready as I'm gonna be.
I must admit, I feel a little funky.
Step 1, make the rain more visible.
Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Step 2, put on the coveralls. Each pair weighs 757 grams. Step 3, it's time to walk the line. and find an answer to this age-old mystery.
Walking.
Our high-speed camera, running at 1,000 frames per second, captures every single droplet. Adam and Jamie will walk the course twice, once with wind, once without.
And stop.
Each take is timed. Then the coveralls are straight off and onto the scales.
785 grams. What was the original weight?
757.
757.
Cool.
So 18 grams of water.
And the results faithfully recorded. Now, Jamie's turn to be under the weather. Both walks clock in at around 18 seconds, and the coveralls have soaked up almost the same amount of water. But what happens when Adam and Jamie up the pace? That can't be right.
798, significantly more.
Adam's coveralls are 14 grams heavier after the run. Time to find out what our meteorologists gauged from their rain experiment.
It's much better to run than walk, according to our model and the experiment. The runner was 40% less wet than the walker.
On Jamie's run, the difference isn't as great.
793.
But the raw data is still pointing to an answer that flies in the face of science.
The results aren't what I expected at all, actually. The numbers are really close. We're only talking about a matter of a dozen grams here and there. So when we average it all out, I think it's going to show that running, actually, you get wetter, strangely.
The difference is minute. Wind-blown rain makes the coveralls only a few grams heavier. The overall result, however, remains the same. At the end of the day, 8 pink-tinged coveralls tell the story.
After the running, the rubber suits, the getting wet, crunching the numbers, what's the final result? What's the verdict?
Better to walk than run.
Really?
Yeah, it was very clear. Over a 100-foot course with 2 to 3 inches per hour rain delivery. We got more than twice the rain per foot running than we did with walking.
Is this one busted?
This one's busted. Fact is that it's better to walk than to run in the rain.